What's up with the squad? Back with another video. Y'all seeing the titles going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for me, please. Y'all got it right here. Says U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Director Joseph Edlow announces widespread immigration fraud of Somali immigration in Minneapolis. You got to hear visa overstays, forged documents, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found. Fraud was found in nearly 50% of all cases. Check it out.
Officers from our Fraud Detection and National Security Directorate, working in teams, have conducted over 1,000 site visits across the Minneapolis-St. Paul area as part of this operation. What they found should shock all of America. Focusing on a list of over 1,000 target cases involving more than 900 individuals, our officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system, abuse of the F-1 visas, and many other discrepancies. Over the course of the operation, our officers found indication of fraud, non-compliance, or public safety and national security concerns in nearly a little less than 50% of the cases interviewed. We found troubling patterns with the Uniting for Ukraine program that should have raised serious concerns under other administrations, such as an individual filing to sponsor more than 100 aliens, and organizations sponsoring hundreds. We are continuing to investigate these cases. Some of the other troubling cases that our officers found. In one case, officers identified an alien who had overstayed his visa waiver, who was the son of a known or suspected terrorist on the no-fly list. He had previously been found to have engaged in marriage fraud, which resulted in the denial of several immigration benefit requests. He was arrested and is now presently being returned to his country of origin. In another, an individual admitted to obtaining a fake death certificate in Kenya for just $100 to prove he was no longer married. In reality, his wife is alive, living here in Minneapolis, and is the mother of 5 of his children. And incidentally, he has another wife living in Sweden with whom he has an additional 3 children. In another case, an alien entered the United States without inspection in 2023, was released by Border Patrol. The alien married a U.S. citizen while in removal proceedings and was interviewed at the Minneapolis-St. Paul USCIS field office just last week, where both he and his American spouse, stated under oath that their marriage was legitimate. The USCIS officers conducting the interview were suspicious. The site visits were authorized the same day. The American spouse ultimately that afternoon admitted the marriage was fraudulent and entered into solely for immigration purposes and withdrew her petition for that alien. This type of same-day action for interview, from interview to site visit has...
One thing about this is that this is absolutely crazy of the simple fact that this stuff is going on. It's truly insane to me. Says 250 million taxpayer funded fraud scheme by Ilhan Omar, Somali and friends in Minnesota. Check it out right here.
A $250 million fraud scheme. Already 77 people, many of them Somali immigrants, have been charged in one of the largest taxpayer-funded scams in U.S. history. Minnesota, home to the largest Somali community in America, has become the center of this massive investigation. This is the Feeding Our Future scandal, a pandemic-era scheme in which defendants allegedly stole over $250 million meant to provide meals for low-income children. Instead of feeding kids, prosecutors say the money went toward luxury homes, high-end cars, jewelry, overseas transfers, and an entire network of shell companies. According to the DOJ, the conspirators submitted fake invoices, fabricated meal counts, and even staged photos to make it look like they were serving millions of meals that never existed. In some cases, they claimed to feed more children than lived in entire neighborhoods. A federal jury found Amy Bach, the founder of Feeding Our Future, and Salim Ahmed Saeed guilty of conspiracy, bribery, wire fraud, money laundering. Federal officials
this is insane.
Say more arrests may still be coming.
Like, this is truly insane to me. Like, I don't know about y'all, but this right here, this ain't it. This is definitely not it. On top of that, you got Ilhan Omar. Says claiming that Somalis have always been seen as fabric of this nation, that she says. And then says that they're clearly not going anywhere. Best believe, trust and believe. Stuff is gonna get handled. I know for a fact.
Somalis are not terrorizing this nation. We are helping it thrive. Somalis have always seen themselves as a fabric of this nation. So not only are we not going anywhere, we are not going to allow anybody to make us feel less Minnesotan or less American.
The thing that I truly don't get is that I truly feel as if, obviously coming from their country, and I really can't even say that because obviously it's a crime, but at the same time, I truly don't get how, and I don't want to, make this sound bad in any kind of way. I truly do not get how they could literally sit here and make everything about their country, and just talk down on America like y'all not here. I literally looked at something. I don't know how true this is, but I'm pretty sure. It says the average net worth in Somalia is $650. That speaks a lot. It's not really much that I have to say. But then they come here to America and think that it's what? I truly just, I'm not getting it. Not only Somalians either. But you have these, you have these individuals that are talk down on America, saying that it's a horrible country, talking about, Americans, and then they're committed and doing all of this, fraud. And I truly don't get it. This is Bridget Gabriel, y'all. Check it out.
Our concern with Islamic elected officials is whether or not their loyalty is to the United States of America or to a foreign government or an entity. If you look at the track record of those who we already have in Congress, Ilhan Omar, for example, with the Somali flag in Congress. Now, is her loyalty to the United States or to Somalia?
Exactly.
When you have Rashida Tlaib with the Palestinian flag in her office, is her loyalty to the American people or to the Palestinian people?
Exactly.
Last time I checked, it was Americans who elected her to serve America's interests, American communities, not Palestinians living in Gaza. When you look at the guy who ran for mayor in Minnesota, when you look at the track record of the Muslims who are elected to office in the United States, we are seeing very clearly the loyalty leaning more towards another government and another entity. When you look at the students marching and demonstrating in the United States, including Mamdani, by the way, in demonstrations after October 7th, where they were burning the American flag and waving the flags of different countries, Arabic countries in the Middle East, different terrorist organizations, you start to think to yourself, where is their loyalty? Are they loyal to us or to somewhere else?
Exactly.
So when I see that 76 Muslims ran for office, backed and funded by CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, who's an unindicted co-conspirator in the largest terrorism financing trial in America's history, and 42 of them make it to office, I question their loyalty, and I question the decisions that they're going to be making regarding America, their cities, and its interests.
How do you
I truly feel exactly what, she's saying, because, it's clearly showing that their loyalty isn't to America. And we all see that. It's nothing. And I just find it completely insane of, having these individuals, in office and only caring for, the people and their country, and I say the people as in their people. Because they clearly don't care about Americans whatsoever. I'm letting everybody know that right now. Y'all, a lot of people know that. But for the ones that don't understand that, they completely don't care about Americans. I mean, you obviously see it. You see the money that they're taking. You see, I mean, check this out right here. Says Ilhan Omar did say on video that she's in Congress to further interests. She's in Congress to further the interest of Somalia. She's doing exactly what, she said. This literally right here, this is crazy, me even talking about this. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar secures $1.8 million for a Somalian woman. Insane, y'all. Check it out.
waa buildingkii ugu horeeyay oo gabar Soomaali ay dhistay Nawaal Nuur aad iyo aadaan ugu faraxsannahay construction company-geeda buildingkan dhisay wuxuuna ugu talagalay in familiyaalka oo ciyaal leh ay degaan waana fikrad gabar Soomaali ay keentay ayna fulisay aad iyo aadaan ugu faraxsanahay in aan kala qayb galno furitaanka maanta buildingkan lacagtii ay ku dhamaystirtay 1.8 million dollarne federaalka in aan uga keenay sidii ay u suurta gasho buildingkaniti with that comment.
And let me say something, y'all, because I truly find this, and I don't know who she's speaking to when I say this, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm just complete. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just like this person that is obviously just a complete. Trying to figure out a good word to say this because I don't want to get in trouble by YouTube, but I'm gonna just say not rude, I guess, not mean, because it's obviously some other words that I say, but what I find completely interesting when it comes to Ilhan Omar, I was actually on the phone with Retro Steph when I said this, and I said, man, every time she speaks somewhere, why does she have to speak like in that language? Why don't she speak English? I don't want to make this sound bad. I'm just saying, why don't she speak English when she's talking? Like, you're obviously talking, to Americans. You want to have they have. When I tell y'all, bro, no respect, none. They come on now. Everybody can't speak that. And I'm not trying to even be funny or nothing like that, but everybody can't speak that. Check it out right here, y'all.
I don't know about you, but can we cancel Ilhan Omar? I mean, it's clear she cannot stand this country. Every day, she's releasing a statement bashing the United States of America, the very country that saved her family from refugee camps. In a recent interview, Ilhan Omar bashed the United States and the Trump administration after he deployed National Guard into Los Angeles during the protests/riots that was going on against ICE raids. While being interviewed, Rep. Omar had this to say, quote, "I grew up in a dictatorship, and I don't ever remember witnessing anything like that. To have a democracy, a beacon of hope for the world, to now be turned into one of the worst countries where the military are in our streets without any regards for people's constitutional rights." End quote. Ms. Omar was referring to the military presence in Los Angeles to combat looters and violent protesters who was harming ICE agents and destroying federal property. But it's no surprise that she's constantly bashing the very country that gave her opportunity. I mean, here's a woman who fled Somalia, a failed state ravaged by poverty, civil war, and corruption.
Exactly.
Came to the U.S. as a refugee, given housing, free education, opportunity, freedom, things her family couldn't find in Somalia. Thanks to the American dream, she became an American citizen in 2000. Years later, she was elected to Congress as one of the first Muslim females in the House. I don't know. It sounds like she should be thankful to the American dream because she has plenty to be thankful for. But instead, she bashes the very country that gave her opportunity and saved the lives of her and her family.
And one thing about it is that it's that disrespect. It's truly that disrespect. Because I have one better. Let's deport her brother, husband, and all the Somalians in Minnesota for the things that, obviously that they have, that they're doing. I truly do not get that. This right here is Ilhan Omar literally saying America is turning into one of the worst countries on earth. Check it out.
To be coming out of our country. I mean, I grew up in a dictatorship. And I don't even remember ever witnessing anything like that. To have a democracy, a beacon of hope for the world to now be turned into one of the worst countries where the military are in our streets without any regard for people's constitutional rights, while our president spending millions of dollars propping himself up like a failed dictator with a military parade.
It literally just goes to show you the disrespect that Ilhan Omar has, not only her, but, many more that they have, in here. I truly don't get that. Just like the guy said, like, you like, be more grateful. I truly feel like to be more grateful. You know what I mean? Says here, we sit here and we talk about these things, but one thing about it, great news. Says breaking, President Trump announced he's terminating temporary protect status for all Somalis in Minnesota. Trust and believe. This is a post by President Trump, says Minnesota, under Governor Walz, is a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity. I am, as President of the United States, hereby terminating, effective immediately, the temporary protective status for Somalis in Minnesota. Somali gangs are terrorizing the people of that great state, and billions of dollars are missing. Send them back to where they come from, or from where they came from. It's over, President DJT. So when I tell y'all that, again, things are going to look up, things are going to be better, it truly is, because we have an amazing president sitting at the, I ain't even gonna say sitting in the White House, doing whatever he can. Because one thing about it, I've always seen every day, and the one thing that I love, and I said this before, is that we see every day. You get on X and you'll see President Trump moving around, doing this. He's displaced. He's talking to this person. He's talking to this person. He handling business. And I'm truly thankful that, and I'm glad that, because you had, that Biden administration. Oh yeah, you didn't see much done at all. So one thing that I do absolutely love is that President Trump is doing a lot and handling business. There's many other things that, I can't wait to see that's to get done. And I know y'all are trying to see that too, but just, be patient, and definitely see some things, looking up. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for the next video. Catch y'all next one.